it is.
Okay, good morning and welcome to the Aired Out podcast live uh, from the basement on this beautiful, sunny, going to be extremely hot Labor Day. Don't forget the parade in Northfield that starts at 10:30. That's going to be an amazing event, and being told that Michael Deering and his family, along with the Spalding football team, will be in the parade as well. So that's going to be fun. And don't forget to check on your neighbors, elderly. Super important when it's hot like this because it doesn't take much to get overheated and dehydrated and all of that good stuff. So check on those around you. This morning we have with us Heather Slayton of Washington County Mental Health with all kinds of things to talk about in Suicide Awareness Month and Recovery Month, all kinds of things going on. And so welcome. It's been a little bit since we've seen you.
It has. We've been very busy at Washington County Mental Health Services.
Yes, you have.
It's been a busy summer.
So not only did you, like us, have some flood damage, you all had quite a bit of damage on Summer Street.
We did.
But you have been spending lots of time up at the auditorium, and you even personally helping out. And
yeah, it's been busy. We had, I think, 5 buildings that actually took on a lot of damage and quite a bit of loss in products that we provide to the community. We have a couple buildings with food and home goods shelves and lots of buildings where people can come and kind of congregate and hang out, get showers and things, and those were damaged. And then some of our residentials took a hit. So lots of rebuilding, lots of construction going on, lots of goods gathering happening. And then, yeah, we were in the community and still are quite a bit, doing some door-to-door crisis counseling. We were at the shelter for several hours a day for several weeks, the entire time it was open, going door-to-door with at homes, at businesses. We're still doing that. We have a new crisis counseling team. Well, not new now. We've been doing it all summer.
right.
So, yeah, it's been a very, very busy summer, and I want to get into that crisis counseling team a little today. So, yeah, it's been very busy. Haven't had a lot of time to see you, unfortunately.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
And then I've gotten a couple of questions as far as, do you know how the damage to Summer Street will impact Wellness Wednesdays? Will you be able to kick it off?
That is another thing on my hit list today that we're excited to talk about, actually. Yes.
Good.
Yeah, because we are
Good.
almost there. Like, Wellness Wednesdays are soon upon us.
It's funny that people realize that it's coming out.
Yes.
You know, that it's coming back. You take it away for the summer for obvious reasons. Everybody's really busy, and this summer we were more busy than normal.
Yeah, unfortunately, not in a great way.
No.
Yeah.
But
People are ready for it. They can feel it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did have quite a few questions
Good.
about that.
Good.
Whether or not
I'm glad.
it would be back because people recognized and noticed the damage on
Yeah, and they
on
feel the
Summer
need
Street.
and they know where to get it met.
Yeah.
So that's great news.
It is great news.
So, yeah, Wellness Wednesday is coming back, and we are almost there. The difference is that it will be on the second floor because the first floor is still nowhere near ready. They're almost done with the complete demolition of the first floor because the entire thing was wiped out. So it's almost completely demoed, sadly. And then we're scheduling replacing walls at this point. That's where we are. So we're looking at probably a couple more months before the first floor is rebuilt. And that does not include replacing anything down there. So Wellness Wednesdays will resume September 27th.
Wow. So really soon.
Right. So will be the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month from September 27th until November 8th.
Nice.
And we'll be upstairs. So you can either park in the bottom lot and walk up if you're able, or drive to the upper parking lot and use the door on the side of the building. We'll have plenty of signage so people can figure out where they need to be. And so you go in the side door. When you drive up the Pearl Street driveway,
Yes.
on the side of the building, there is a door on the side. And you walk in that door, and everything will be in the upstairs portion of the building.
Nice.
So we'll have plenty of signage. Most of the same practitioners will be there. And we'll have all the same services.
Nice.
Reiki, massage, ear acupuncture, mindfulness meditation, all the same stuff, just upstairs.
Just upstairs. And
yeah.
probably some fundraising efforts soon, I would assume.
We'll see. Yep. Things like that can affect your FEMA eligibility. And so we're not quite done with all of that.
Right. So you have to wait.
Yeah. You got to wait.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that fundraising can affect that
Yeah,
stuff. And so we're being very cautious.
Definitely not a lot. We talk about it a lot here, actually. We've said, a lot. The fundraising is a great thing, but you have to be careful because you can take yourself right out of the running for some, not only FEMA, but even some
other
of the grants.
Yeah. And I'm very aware of that. And I'm the person writing those things. So I am very aware of what that can do. And while I really love living in a community that is so generous and kind and wants to be helpful, I do cringe a little when I see things happening. So right now we're working on insurance and grants. And we will definitely call on our community if we need to after.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But we're excited to get started again. So I will have my flyers ready to go by Friday.
And we'll be talking about it way more for sure.
Right. And so we appreciate everything you do to get the word out. And I will have everything out on the website and on our events calendar and on our Facebook page. And we'll have the flyers out in town. And you guys will be sharing them. And
good.
Yeah. So we're super excited to start again because we all need it. The
Yes,
community needs it. Our staff needs it. Everybody needs it. So,
and especially right now with everything that has gone on, there's a lot of emotions and a lot of struggles right now.
Yeah. So
for everyone, whether you're homeowner, renter, business owner, there's just a lot.
Right. And so as usual, you call 479-4055 to book your sessions. And ear acupuncture is always walk in. Mindfulness meditation will happen on the half hour. So that's another walk in. But, things like massage and Reiki will be
appointments. Only. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
And that'll be 4:30 to 7, the second and fourth Tuesdays of each month.
Yeah. And if you tried massage last time, maybe try some Reiki this time or the ear acupuncture.
Yeah. Mix it up.
Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So speaking of phone numbers that you have and offer, you have a special number that you guys have that is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah. So let's see. Where can we? So we have our crisis card here. So speaking of this month being Suicide Prevention Month, you might see these out in the community. Hopefully you do because we've got a couple thousand of them out everywhere. This is our little crisis card. So on one side, you've got our crisis number, and it is 2290591, and the card says, "Suicide can be prevented. You can help." So you can either carry one of these with you if you need it, or if you find somebody that you think might need it. On the other side, we've got tips, what you can do. So if you think somebody you know might need this, here's a list of things that you can do to help people, or a list of other numbers that you might give them that are more specific to very specific communities. So we've got a list of numbers for teens, for veterans, for a peer line, an LGBTQ plus teen hotline, But on the front is always our phone number for our crisis team, which is a very local, somebody's always right there immediately in your community line. And these are everywhere.
Which is a big deal because you're not calling and getting a dispatcher that
in another state that might get you here.
Right.
Or put you on hold. Right. So
that doesn't know where Barry is or Orange or Washington or Williamstown or any of those places. Yeah, they have no clue.
Right.
And so
and when you call 988, in theory it is supposed to get you to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that always works.
Right.
But our number is always open.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get you to us.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And again, it's 802-229-0591.
Yes.
And it's actually our cover photo this week because you guys are our sponsor or presenting sponsor of the week. So it's our cover photo this week.
Thank
so
you.
it's there, and we give out the number often anyways in our ads and stuff. So that is just one service of many that you all provide.
It is. Yeah. And I'm happy to say that our wait lists are shrinking right now. I know there have been a lot of them, especially in outpatient, but we've been hiring. So we're very excited to say that, especially in outpatient, in adult and children's, that the wait lists have been shrinking. So people are coming off of those lists as we continue to hire.
Which is great news.
Yeah, it is very great news.
Still hiring?
Still hiring, always hiring. So if you're looking for work, check out our website because the careers link has got lots of great listings in many departments. So
great pay, flexible schedules, benefit packages. Yeah. So definitely a plus, and you should check them out if you're looking.
Yes.
So you're in. I know it's going to be a busy month because there is so much going on, but I hear that you're also going to be maybe attending the event that matters.
I'm definitely attending an event that matters.
Yes, me too.
Yes. We'll have lots of fun there together.
Yes.
We're going to be handing out our, it's a great event. We'll be handing out our crisis cards there. They've been kind enough to allow me to bring our materials. So it is a fundraiser for NAMI, the National Alliance of Mental Health, or Mental Illness, sorry. Be nice if I got the right letters in there. So it's the whole, their purpose is to support and educate and advocate so that people who are impacted by mental illness in Vermont can build better lives. And they are holding a silent auction and a 50-50 raffle, and there's going to be dancing and
a
hors d'oeuvres
and all kinds of great things.
So it should be a good time.
Yeah, it's on the 15th.
It's on the 15th at the Barry Elks from 6 to 11, and you can still get tickets, which are $35 for a couple, $20 for one person. So it should be a really good fundraiser.
Which is very reasonable.
And, I think so.
Yeah, I do too.
So, we'll be there, and it's going to be a good time. So we'll be there for that one. And then normally in September is the Out of Darkness Walk. And that is going to be held in October this year.
Right.
Which is something that Washington County Mental Health also participates in. And actually a classmate of mine and Jason's was Joey Livendale, and his parents are a big piece of that. So, and he actually died by suicide. So, and we miss him. He was a good chap. So, that matters a lot to us. So,
and we'll be talking a lot more about that too. Usually we have Brandy Tracy comes in and talks with us and talks about her involvement and everything that she has going on, and is in regards to that event and more.
I can't think of anybody I know who has not known somebody or been affected by somebody who died by suicide. So
me either.
It's something that we can all get behind and try to find a way to stop.
And when we talk about mental health, it's a big umbrella. Mental health is not just, you can't think of it in just put one label or one, troubles on the list of mental health. The list is long.
Very, very.
And scary.
Yeah. And so, in addition to all of this, it's also Recovery Month.
Mm-hmm.
And so coming off of Overdose Awareness Month, now we've
where the numbers were huge.
Now we've got September is Recovery Month.
Mm-hmm.
And so for all of those people who are trying so hard to get to or stay in recovery, we're celebrating and supporting all of those people this month.
Right.
And so that's another huge piece of hopefully maintaining a level of mental health that can support recovery.
Hopefully, because we are lacking services here in Washington County a lot.
To get to that point, even to start recovery. Right.
When I recently was at the overdose vigil in Hartford, the number of services available in the Upper Valley seems quite great compared to what we have here in some respects. But then when you're talking to the people there, they may have a few more areas where you can go, but really they don't feel like there's enough either. And I mean, we have a long ways to go in that department statewide.
We have a long ways
government.
To go for funding.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
To get the support we need in order to establish the kind of support people need.
Yeah.
Because we have residential homes that provide counseling and co-occurring groups and some oversight, and we have support, but none of them we don't have the funding required to provide what a lot of people need, which is inpatient long-term
long-term
support and care and treatment. That there's not enough of that.
No.
Yeah.
And I mean, it would be wonderful to think that you guys could do it all. But you can't by yourself. There's no way that you can do it by yourself. There's just, the need is too great. And unfortunately, it's at a government level. We all know that. It's,
the money has to come from somewhere to support the programs.
And the money was supposedly
there.
Yeah, the money was supposedly there. All of these settlements and, the war on drugs and all the money that they were going to
But if it doesn't come
put back into it,
we can't use it.
Exactly.
Right.
And so, how we make all of that happen, I would love to know.
So would we.
I know. You testify.
Yes.
How many times? I mean, I've heard you say, I got to go testify today. Today. More than once.
And nobody fights harder for the people we serve or for our staff to be able to serve people than Mary Moulton.
Yeah. You're literally doing everything you can, not just providing services, but you're literally there, boots on the ground, doing the fight of trying to make it all happen.
Right. Fighting for
get
people
the funding
with the legislature, applying for grants constantly, looking for the right type of real estate to be able to provide, looking for the right type of staff who can, clinical staff to provide the counseling, support staff to provide the in-place support. But if we can't purchase a place, if we can't put a program in place because there's no funding to do it, then it makes it difficult.
Do you think that the community plays a part in it as well, as far as the stigma and I don't want that in my...
I don't know that we've made a leap close enough to be able to gauge that. I don't think that we've ever been able to get close enough with funding for those types of programs to be able to
even ask a town or
No.
a city if
no, the funding isn't there to even,
mm-hmm,
realize a program enough to the point that
mm-hmm.
anybody could say no thanks. So,
Yeah, that's it's very sad all the way around.
It is.
Sure.
yeah.
So, Recovery Month. What do we have going on for that? Do you guys have any special functions or
Ooh. You
anything
have asked a
like
question
that?
I don't have an answer to.
Because you're not sure yet.
I don't know. I don't know that one.
Well, that's all right.
I don't know that one.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
talk about things on your list.
Well, I want to talk about our short-term crisis counseling services that are happening as a result of the stress and anxiety that people are feeling because of the flooding. So when the shelter opened at the auditorium, a few of us were up there for many, many hours a day. And when I wasn't there, or when the rest of us weren't there, then we were doing door-to-door knocking at residentials and in the businesses in a few different towns and cities, just checking on people to see, obviously, how they were doing, which was kind of a no-brainer, but also just to get our hands on and, do some handshaking and hugging and whatever people needed, really. And so out of this was born, similarly to when Irene hit, our short-term crisis counseling team. And so what is available, and it's through the same phone number, the 229-0591, is our short-term crisis counseling, which is a 3 to 5 session crisis counseling option. So if you feel like you want to talk to somebody, but you feel like it might not be a case of, I need to be enrolled for regular therapeutic visits, but you just really need to deal with some of this stress, vent, talk to somebody like, man, this flood is just overwhelming me. I've lost so many possessions, or I'm worried about what's coming next, or I'm even just so worried about my neighbors or some friend this happened to, or what are my kids going to do? It doesn't even have to be that you personally lost something, but I'm worried about my neighborhood or my community. Whatever the case may be, if this is a flood-related issue and you're worried, panicked, whatever the case may be, and you're not really feeling like you need to be enrolled as a client maybe, but you just need to unload some stuff, you can get 3 to 5 short-term sessions with us, absolutely no cost. This does not enroll you as a client of the agency. And you can just call, talk to one of us. There are 12 of us on the team. When you have gotten these sessions and you feel like, okay, this worked, I feel better now, I feel like I've gotten the tools I need to manage this, I can move on, those records are then destroyed. They don't get saved. Your name doesn't end up on a list. It won't affect anything else in the rest of your lifetime. If you're going to go and list, if you're going to do whatever, you're not on any list as having had mental health treatment.
Right. Okay.
If at the end of that you feel like, this is so helpful, maybe I think I want to continue getting therapy, or I want to see somebody regularly, then you can choose to be put on a list to maybe join a group regularly or become somebody's client, go through the regular intake process. And that's fine too. It's entirely up to you. But we do have this team that if you just want to talk to somebody a couple of times, this option is there. So again, it's just the regular 229-0591. But when you call, you want to say, I would like to speak to somebody about my flood-related stress or anxiety, and that will get you funneled to the right group of people so that you're not channeled instantly to the regular intake or navigation group. And this can be for children. This can be for adults. It's for anybody who needs it. It can be for any community member. This is for business owners, landlords, anybody. Anybody who wants to talk to somebody about their flood-related stress or anxiety can do that through this
Free of
group.
charge.
Free of charge.
Wow.
3 to 5 sessions, whatever you need.
Mm-hmm.
Could be once. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And there is no wait list for this. This is immediate. We'll just channel you through to one of us.
Nice.
And that's it. And it can be one and done.
Plenty of stress involved in all of this.
There's so much.
And
so much.
even in anxieties over the fact that it continues to rain and rain
Right.
and rain.
Right.
It's going to be a nice week this week, but
yeah. And we went door to door. If people weren't home, we left door hangers with our number, with a list of tips around how to maybe navigate some of this anxiety, self-care stuff, and had the number on there. Here's how you get a hold of us. We did get some calls, and that's great. And, we have been through multiple towns with this. We've sent it out through lots of the Red Cross, where every town had their kind of command center. So all this information was out there, hoping that people would pick it up when they were out. The chamber sent it out to everybody. So that was great. Love being a member there, the Central Vermont Chamber of Commerce. I know you guys have been sharing stuff for us.
Yes.
So that's been very helpful. But yeah.
it's a lot of information all at once sometimes for people. And so now that things are slowing down and we're kind of in a different mode, a recovery mode.
Right.
I think it's easier to get that information to people, and people are more able and willing to accept services because there's not a million other things on their plate at the moment. Right.
So while it feels kind of like I'm sharing information now in September, almost 2 full months after, it feels like it's kind of late coming.
But it's
We've
not.
been handing it out the entire time.
Right.
But I kind of feel like, in the rush of the immediate moment during the flooding and while it rained for 2 months solid after, it almost seems like now that people are like, okay, the water's gone. We've mostly cleaned out the mess. Now people are starting to rebuild and maybe wondering, like, is my furnace actually going to work in a month when it's cold? It's almost like that day after the car accident, now my neck hurts kind of a thing.
Right.
Now is when people are maybe finally slowing down enough to realize, like, oh man, my head might not be on straight.
Well, and it's just like I think with
now's
anything,
the time to think about.
I should
check in with myself.
When you finally can sit and take a breath, that's when everything kind of hits you all at once, and it can be overwhelming. It's, just like a death in the family, or the chaos of it all, and the services, and making sure that everything is done and taken care of. And then when you finally have a moment to sit with yourself, you realize how much you yourself have been through and what's really happening.
Right. When all the immediate jobs are over and then you run out of things to do and you're stuck with yourself, that's when kind of the wall hits. And so now's the time to really think, like, am I okay or should I call?
Right. And get it done before winter. And you have the winter blues that are setting in.
Right.
And all
give
of
us
these
a call
other
before
things
everything
that,
falls on you.
Just kind of give yourself that moment to take a breath and recoup a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we want you to call.
What else do you have going on?
I mean, that's the bulk of it, like come to Wellness Wednesday, call us for a couple of visits at no cost. Like, we want to help take care of people right now. Right now, get ahead of it. That's what we're really hoping for.
Yeah. And in I don't know, I guess as far as Suicide Prevention Month and Recovery Month, get your tickets to an event that matters and join us. It's going to be a good night and
it is
a great event, super great cause.
Yep.
That we need help.
We do.
Greatly.
Do. And next weekend, I'm headed to 2 events that are not Washington County related. So next weekend we've got the Iron Order
Yes.
D's Ride,
Yes.
which normally they invite me to share in the fundraising for the Imagination Station Snoozlin Room, which is Washington County related, but there is no room because of the flood.
Right.
So eventually when we get rebuilt, we will have a grand reopening. So that'll be fun. But so my top soccer team is what I'll be representing there. And that
nice.
is our soccer team for kiddos with diagnoses like autism or physical maybe challenges that keep them from enjoying soccer on a club or school
You're going to
team.
do that again this year.
So yes,
last year was the first year, wasn't it?
Last year was the first year.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll start that on September 10th. And I run that with Cassandra Damaris, who is another autism mom.
Yep.
So we're doing that next Saturday is Dee's Ride. So if anybody wants to come, on a motorcycle or in any vehicle and do that poker ride.
Right. That starts
That's
at
next
Wilkins
Saturday.
this year, right?
Nope.
No?
Dee's Ride? No, that's at, look it up on the Iron Order Motorcycle Club
Okay.
page. It's on Flint Road in Williamstown.
Oh, yes.
And then in that evening is the Central Vermont Chamber of Commerce Calcutta,
Oh, yes.
which they may or may not still have tickets to, but I think they might. So pretty
I think
excited.
that they might
So
as well.
I'm going to that as that's a Washington County mental health thing that I'm doing on Saturday night. Saturday night. So I'm excited to go to that. So Jessica Kell, who is still covering as our director of the children's division, but is now our chief operating officer, taking her to that with me to go get her more fluidly introduced to our business community. She's coming to that with me, so I'm excited. And what else do we have going on? Then the following weekend is an event to remember. Lots of weekend events.
There is.
Yeah.
For sure. I was trying to find that one for Iron Order. I know that, but I know why, because I'm looking
If you get on
from Air It Out, and it's,
I think if you just search Dee's Ride.
yeah.
Dee Rollins is another friend that I went to Rock Solid Crew IOMC. So Dee Rollins is another friend that I went to school with.
Yes.
Who we lost to cancer, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
And so they do this poker run to benefit local friend every year, somebody different every year, battling cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So kickstands up at $11, $20 a hand, 327 Flint Road, Williamstown. And you can have any rig. Could be a bike, could be anything.
Yeah, just join the fun. Join the party.
Join the fun,
and
help raise money.
And it's a great cause.
This is the sixth one.
Great cause.
Yep.
I saw you guys there last year. You went live from there, I think.
Yeah.
So that we got to see the send off. So
yeah, it's a good time.
All right. Well, I'm not sure what else you have going on, if anything.
Yeah.
I know. And what I was thinking was, Wilkins is also doing a suicide awareness ride on Saturday from 10 to noon.
They've almost always got a ride going at the same time as Dee's ride.
At the same time. So that's what I was thinking. So, and I think actually that they have some people from Iron Order helping out with that as well. Yeah. So it's kind of like
I wish there was like a motorcycle run calendar where everybody could get coordinated to do different Saturdays.
Right, to know what they're doing. Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else going on, but I think right now I'm most excited about Wellness Wednesdays.
Me too. I think a lot of people are, obviously, because people have already been asking whether or not you were going to do it again, because they saw the dumpsters and everything outside of the front of the building, and I think they panicked.
I mean, yeah. We didn't, because we know we've got the whole upstairs. So, and some of those services were already upstairs.
Right.
So that's fine. But we have a big telehealth room up there that is, we'll just move the ear acupuncture and everything right up there. And Like the massage, a lot of the massage and Reiki was upstairs anyway, so that's fine.
So will you do the family, my family gathering place as well?
Actually, so that has kind of changed format.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now more of a, I lost the word I was looking for. So instead of a big group where we hold like a training on each topic, it's become more of a, why can't I think of the word? More of just like a steering kind of group where people will be looking at the services and
Mm-hmm.
finding ways to drive how they're provided
Mm-hmm.
and look at what we're doing and how we're doing it and maybe how it can be
So more of a forum.
provided better. Yeah, how what services look like and how they can be improved on
Mm-hmm.
as a system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just changing. For years, attendance in the training groups has kind of dwindled for many reasons, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for families to get out, even
Even though you provide
even though we
dinner
provide
and
food
daycare.
and daycare
Right.
and a place to play, which we don't have now for
Right.
a while. But even when we had it, it was difficult for people to get out of the house, which I understand. It would be
Mm-hmm.
hard for me to do it if I
Mm-hmm.
had to bring my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there was somebody there to feed them and watch them,
Mm-hmm.
it would be hard for me to muster the energy to even leave my house. at
Right.
that
Get
hour.
them all in the car and get going.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's just hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so people were just not always coming. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the topic, while valuable, is not always enough of a drive
Mm-hmm.
to get you to go. And I get that
Mhm.
100% because I wouldn't always even do it if I wasn't my job too.
Right.
So
And that's where the Zoom links always came in handy with those. So
they did for some
because-
people, but
yeah.
not for others.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think the interest was the issue. I just think sometimes the motivation of
Mhm.
another thing to do made
Right.
it very difficult to
Yeah.
maintain.
yeah.
And so there are many options when it comes to providing this as a service and as a obligation through the state to be able to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
We have very different options of how to do it. And so
Mhm.
one of those is to just really form a committee that analyzes and improves systems.
Right.
And so that's the format we've decided to attempt to go with. And we'll see how this one goes.
It's going to be great. And I'm
I
sure
am
we'll be
hoping,
talking much
'cause-
more about that. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about Wellness Wednesdays. There's all kinds of things
Yeah.
coming up. I think that you always have a presence, but I think you try really hard to have a bigger presence in the wintertime because you know what it can bring to people here.
Yes.
And so super grateful for that. And yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, we will I'll give you the number one more time to the crisis line, which is 802-229-0591, and that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As the new logo shows, that you guys are there all day, every day, and
we are.
around the clock, ready to help. And so
And don't forget that crisis counseling.
that's
Just
right.
let us know it's flood related and give us a call.
If you need help, please give them a call. And thanks for coming in and joining me this morning. And I hope everybody can get out and enjoy the parade and a little bit of festivities before it gets super, super hot. We all know it's going to get super hot. So get out, enjoy what you can, and then try to stay cool. Drink lots of water. Maybe go swimming if you can. Do something fun. Make sure you check on your neighbors. But the Labor Day parade is in Northfield, and it starts at 10:30. So you still have time to get there if you, although you may want to go quickly because you're going to have to walk a ways because parking anywhere close at this point is probably not going to happen. But Thanks for tuning in. Join JD and I tomorrow morning. I think he's going to be here if he stops trying to climb cliffs anyways and he doesn't break anything. He thinks he's 20 or something. I don't know. But I saw that picture and I shook my head and thought, dumbass. You know. But hey, at least he tries, right? So, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock.